We'll move on to 149, the premier matchup of the afternoon. Number 19, Alex Griffin of Purdue facing off against Luke Blanton. Luke Blanton, of course, no stranger to knocking off ranked wrestlers as he knocked off number 11, Hunter Stieber of Ohio State just a week ago.
Yeah, and this is the matchup we were really looking forward to. Blanton, he's had a pretty solid year, and Alex Griffin, the number 19. And Luke has even upset a few ranked guys this year. He's been in and out of the rankings.
So the crowds have calmed down just a little bit as we have reached the 149-pound class. All kinds of excitement there in the 141. Wasn't expecting such a close matchup there, but I think the end result was what we were expecting, is that Purdue came away with the victory there. Sabatello did a wonderful job. Now his teammate Griffin now on the mat to carry on the momentum that Sabatello created. So Indiana lost the last two matches. Purdue now leading 6-4 after two minor decisions. Indiana getting 4 points from a major decision.
Griffin, the redshirt junior, going up against Luke Blanton, the redshirt sophomore. Not too much of a difference here. It's interesting so far, no score.
I think we've seen a little bit of interesting things happen with Griffin, the redshirt junior, as you mentioned, from McCutcheon High School. 31-18 in the last two seasons. Now he's 12-5 this season, so he's definitely improved this year. Blanton, of course, the sophomore, as you mentioned, the redshirt sophomore, 16-16 record last season, so he has definitely improved. Now 17-9 this season. Only one pin from Blanton so far this year, so I don't think we'll be expecting a pin to happen here at the 149 class. Blanton came out of Alexandria Monroe High School, goes in for a shot, nothing happening there.
Yeah, we talked to Blanton on Wednesday, and we asked him if this Purdue matchup really had any extra incentive, and he said it did. Like last year, he lost to Welch, and he's never been a big fan of Purdue, like he said, but he really wants this one, and he kind of showed that Wednesday when we were interviewing him.
Now, the interesting thing about that is that you can't just say Welch, as we've mentioned throughout this broadcast. There are 3 Welch brothers on this Purdue squad.
Very true, very true.
And that was, of course, Doug Welch at the 157-pound class now. He's bumped up a little bit since then. Blanton trying to create a little bit more pressure on the head. And as you mentioned, this one does have a little bit more incentive, as Purdue and Indiana are quite obviously a very strong rivalry. And you want to talk to me a little bit about the rivalry that has happened that between Indiana and Purdue? I think it's an interesting one, to say the least.
Yeah, this rivalry has been going on for a long time here. Obviously, with every single sport, IU and Purdue always go at it. It's always fun to see them go at it. The Boilermakers are only 17-29 here when wrestling at IU, so they're trying to bump that record up a little bit right now.
Now, Indiana does lead the all-time series 53-36-3. Luke Blanton trying to work on an escape, couldn't quite get anything going. Griffin breaks him back down. Blanton now working on building up a base once again. Griffin still working, trying to put in a deep half. Can't quite see it on your screen there, but he does have the half in. Blanton trying to work on a sit-out going. Still can't quite roll out to get an escape or a reversal going on. He is in good position for a Granby, though. But Griffin works his way back around to the backside. Still not quite out of bounds. Got to have all points of their bodies out of bounds. Blanton now on his shoulder. Griffin will earn back points. And that'll be a 4-point near fall for Griffin. And a big swing in momentum for the Boilermakers. The score now 4-1. Purdue leading and sitting at a minute 24 riding time. Pretty much all of that coming from this period. So Blanton and Griffin now in neutral once again. Blanton's got to make an offensive move here if he wants to cut into the 4-1 lead that Griffin has at the moment. Blanton looking a little sloppy on his stance, standing a little bit too much upright. I feel like an easy shot for Griffin could happen if he keeps that up. So heading into the third period, Griffin still leading 4-1. Blanton will be on top to start the final period though.
Yeah, this has been a great matchup so far, 4-1 like you said. What do you expect Blanton to maybe be a little bit more aggressive this?
I think Blanton really needs to be more aggressive. Of course, an escape from Griffin is no good way to get that started, now leading 5-1, but Blanton will definitely need to get a shot going early if he wants to cut into the lead. Looks like he just really can't get anywhere close to him, but it looks like Griffin might have got poked in the eye on that one. Looks like he's okay, so that's a good sign. Don't want any Boilermakers getting hurt when they come to Indiana. Yeah, as we were talking, Blanton really needs to get more aggressive, and he allowed Griffin to get a shot there, a really deep double. So nothing really going Blanton's way in this match. Griffin now leading 7-1. All kinds of time for Blanton to get a reversal, though, with a minute left to go. Griffin's not letting him get anywhere, though. And one of the most interesting notes in the media guide this week was Blanton's upset of Stieber, and another good shot from Blanton. And it will be a 2-point takedown. But as I was saying, the upset of Stieber was probably his signature win this season, and Griffin looks to be struggling a little bit to get up. So we hope for the best for him. Looks to be in a lot of pain.
Going back to that Stieber win, he was kind of getting beat up a little bit before that, and he said it felt good to get back to his old way of wrestling, and he got the big win there, and he's been pretty solid, 17-9 so far this year.
So they're massaging Griffin's leg a little bit. He looks to be in a lot of pain. So we will take a quick break, and we will bring you back once we get the action started up again here on BTN Plus and the BTN Student U crew. So we are back in the action here in Bloomington. Griffin recovered just enough to get started. So now 7-4. Still Griffin leading, but Blanton doing everything he can to get back in this one. 30 seconds to go here in the third period. A 3-point lead for Griffin. The riding time still sitting at 1:49, so if this should come down to a tie, he will get the extra point for riding time. So nothing to happen on that one, so we'll reset in the middle. And we will be in neutral. Blanton looking to cut into the 3-point deficit in the last final 10 seconds. Working on the shot, still can't get anything going. So no points for Blanton, and that will be a victory for Alex Griffin, the number 19 wrestler at the 149-pound class.
Not really what we expected from that matchup. Blanton did okay in that one, but looks like Alex Griffin controlled that matchup basically from the get-go.